Hello everyone and welcome in. My name is Melanie and I am with Country Outback Crafts. Today we are going to create a shelf sitter using scrap 2x4s and some pictures that I had printed off and some stamp lettering. So I had just cut 4 pieces of 2x4s, just different sizes. And we are going to paint them up really quick. And I'm hoping this works because there's always a glare on my live. So I'm going to try this puppy pad thing that everybody does and pray that it'll cut that glare down that I do have. Welcome in everyone. Thank you for being here. Anybody's new, if they could click that follow button, I would greatly appreciate it. Meeting new friends is what we all enjoy and what we all would like to have. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to paint these in DIY, and the color I'm using is Cherry Picked. And hopefully we can get rid of this glare. Hello everyone. Happy Tuesday. Again, I'm just going to paint these really quick. We're not going to worry about the bottoms because you're probably not going to see them anyhow. And you can use this as a Christmas gift, birthday gift, for wedding table settings. Be really cute for table setting. Tier trays. Just something different, cute idea. If anybody is watching this on the reel, if you click watch video in the bottom left corner, you will see the whole tutorial. I don't know if everybody knows that. Hello everyone and welcome in. That is a loud duck, geese. Anybody's jumping on, say hello. Happy Tuesday. You really don't have to paint the front face of this board. But just in case your picture runs short, you won't see that wood sticking out. Everybody got their holiday shopping done? Again, you can crackle these as well. Be pretty if you crackled them as well. Again, I just cut these all different sizes, and you can do it for any word. You can do it for in a love or a welcome, as a shelf sitter. They're really pretty sitting in the window or your windowsill. And it's something simple and inexpensive. This side. Welcome everyone. Just trying to paint these up really quick so we can finish putting our pictures on them. If anybody's new or watching on the replay, if you could type in #replay, I would greatly appreciate it. It helps our pages. I would love to have you follow as well. Again, you didn't have to paint the front, but just in case your picture runs short, you won't have the raw wood showing through. I'm going to dry these up a little. Hello everyone and welcome. Welcome Tina. Welcome. Happy to have you here. Nobody's missed anything. All I've done is paint these 2x4s real quick. I'm trying to. One good thing about chalk paint is it dries quickly. Tina, I am going to create a shelf sitter and incorporate a candlestick in between it. Something primitive today. Or something someone can make as a gift. That's quick for the holidays, or just to keep for yourself. I said, all you missed was me painting these 2x4s. Excuse me. as dry as I'd like them, but we're getting there. Again, good thing chalk paint dries quickly. If anybody's on here with a page, you're more than welcome to come on as it. I don't mind at all. Anything to help another crafter or business, I'm there for it. Again, I'm not going to worry so much about the bottom because you're not going to see it. You're not going to see the back as well, but at least to make it a whole, I am painting the backs. Tina, I did them all different sizes. I could measure what I did for these if you want me to. Just let's get these dry and I can measure them for you real quick. Again, as long as they're, depending on the picture that you choose, which you'll see here in a minute, depending on the picture or the image that you use, that could change your sizes as well. But I will tell you here in just a minute the sizes that these are. Again, you could crackle these too. That'd be really pretty. Excuse me. I think one of these I missed the top on. I did. I see it in the camera. How's your weather your way, Tina? You all getting the snow? We're getting snow. Anybody getting snow? Oh, wow. Y'all must not be used to snow then, I'm guessing. Driving wise. Heck, They closed New York down with an inch. That would happen every day in the winter. All right, let me just fix this one I missed. It wasn't that one. Yeah, I think we're in the 20s as well. We're there somewhere about. It's the winds. The winds have been really bad for us on a daily basis. All right, I think we got them all except for this one. Some of this paint off so it doesn't get all over my pictures. All right. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Lord. Yeah, we had a bad blizzard. I think it was last Christmas that there was many stuck all over our throughways for days. We lost a lot of people. That was sad. All right, so the sizes that I have, Tina, are, this one is 4.5. Again, these are 2x4s. This one is 5.25. This one is 4 inches. This one is 3 3/4. Excuse me. And this one is 5 3/8. Again, you can do them whatever size you do your pictures to. And I'll show you what I mean right here. Let me flip this just in case this is wet. Oh my Lord. Wow. Yeah, like I said, they'd be shutting New York down forever if they closed at an inch, because we get a lot of snow, a lot. Hopefully that isn't putting a bad glare onto this. All right, what I meant by the images, Tina, I have what I did, not this one, what I did is I printed a picture, okay? I took my 2x4 and I just put my image. You may have to print this once or twice. I took my image and I just creased it, and then I cut it for this first block. And then to continue the image going on to my next ones, I did the next section, I creased it, cut it out, and put it onto the next block. And then again, cut another image of the same thing so you can continue your picture onto the next block. That's what I did. I love primitive as well. Yep, that's New York City. We're in New York State. But yes, that was a sad, sad, sad time. So I cut all of my images prior. So I'm just going to lay my images. I'm hoping everybody can see without a glare onto my boards. So that's how my image is going to be. Of course, it might be backwards to y'all. In the beginning, I didn't show how I cut the pictures, so thank you for asking. You didn't miss that. Like I said, all you missed was me painting the boards. And you're probably wondering why I only have 5 blocks and spring is an eye. We're going to use a candlestick for my eye, a lighted candlestick. So all I'm using to adhere my images to my board is, I already have one open. All I use is Elmer's glue sticks. I don't like using Mod Podge if I have to. Maybe to seal. But to apply an image when it's paper, I like using a glue stick. So all I'm doing is applying my glue stick to my painted 2x4. And you can get a bunch of these at Dollar Tree. Costs a lot less than Mod Podge. And again, I'm just going to apply my image. As straight as I can get it. That's another good thing about using a glue stick, is you can move your image a lot. And they come out perfectly smooth. No bubbles, ever. Again, if you're just jumping on, nobody really missed much of anything other than painting. And this does dry clear as well. So if you went over, it's all good because it will dry clear. And I am going to put wording on all of this. And again, if you do one too, you can put any wording you want on yours. I have ones that say love. I have ones that say welcome. I have ones that say home. And the color of the glue stick does not matter. This one was clear. So no matter what color glue stick you get, it doesn't matter. They all dry clear. It's so quiet in here today. So quiet in here. Everybody must be Christmas shopping. Sometimes if you have some ridges in your 2x4, you may want to smear it in there to get into those little crevices, just so your picture grabs. And it doesn't like pucker, doesn't bubble. It just doesn't adhere into that crack of the wood. I was off a smidgen on cutting this one. And that's okay, because like I said, that's why we paint it, so you don't see the raw wood sticking out. But I was a smidgen short on this one. Last one. If I missed anybody's comments or I'm not seeing them, a lot of times Facebook will do that. I will go through my comments after and answer if I missed anybody. Again, Facebook has been blocking a lot of comments, and you don't see them till after the live. Why? We don't know. So again, I'm just pushing the glue in because there is some grooves in this 2x4. So I want to make sure there's glue in those grooves. Hopefully I'm not shaking my camera. And then just go through on all of them with something soft or dry, and just rub them down so that they get adhered really good. And if you do have, like your picture is a little over or extended with using the glue stick, I like to let it dry. Even though what I'm going to do after this, I like to still let this dry like 24 hours before I go and take a file to knock off the rest of the picture. If it's too long, I don't know if everybody can see. That went over a little. So I'll sand this after like 24 hours after it dries, just to get that off. And you'll still be able to do it after we put the lettering on. So that's what we have so far. I wish I could show everybody the image. It was a full truck that goes across. And then that was just a porch with roses as well. So we have that. And I do have, I'm going to use this as my eye, and it is lit. I don't remember if I put the batteries in it. And I have it set off to the side because it is still wet. I had put Mod Podge on for it to dry. And all I did with this was put wax on it, sprinkle some cinnamon, and Mod Podge the cinnamon so it's on there. And I forgot to put the batteries in. And all of the lights that I always use for stuff like this are always on a timer. So the only time I have to, I don't know if I'm putting them in the right way. The only time I have to change my batteries is when they don't go on no more. I like to use the timer one so you don't have to keep removing it off of the item you're putting it on. I think I put my batteries on wrong. I did. Trying not to hit it because it is wet. I think I put them in wrong again. We'll get this. Trying to be so careful. I put the batteries in wrong. At least I think I did. Come on, Betsy. We got it. Well, that took forever. Again, it is wet. The Mod Podge is wet. All right, so now that we have this done, I am going to, again, my candles that I use are timers. So this will last a good month, if not longer. So I am going to hot glue it on there. And everybody's probably thinking, oh, I'm just putting a little. How are you going to get it off to change it? Well, they just pop off really easily, believe it or not. They stay on there long enough to do what you're doing it or your craft for, but they will pop off just as easy when you need to put the batteries in it. So this is going to be our eye. Now I'm going to take my Prima stamps, and they're just rubber letterings. and add our lettering or our wording onto our blocks. I am going to use, the color I'm using is buttercream on my lettering. I thought that it would match really, really well with that truck. I was going to use a light gray, but I think this will be perfect for this. I gotta make sure that goes the right way. Many times I've put the S on upside down. And all I'm doing is lightly dabbing my S. And I'm okay if my lettering is not perfect. I like it if the paint falls off or it's not all the way on. The hardest thing is getting these straight. That is going to be the hardest thing. Again, don't shift them once you got them on there. So again, I am perfectly fine with that doing that because it's almost just like the truck is, all chippied. So that I'm happy with, that it did that. And you can use block lettering as well that you can get from Dollar Tree, just the cutouts, and dab your lettering on there. It doesn't have to be these. Any lettering you can use. I had found some, it was cut like burlap. The letters were cut out of burlap, except they were a little too big. I was going to use just the burlap lettering and adhere those on, but they were a little too big for this project. Now my biggest thing is to get these all straight. Probably the hardest part. Again, this did the same thing. I got this picture off of, I think I just Googled old pickup trucks. And this one with the, I don't know if you could see it, but there's roses in the truck. I thought it was really pretty. And then I Googled vintage rose vines, and this showed up just for the house. So it's like it blended with this pickup truck. Things you find on Google are amazing. And it was under free images. That was another amazing. Again, my hardest thing is getting these straight, or as close to straight as I can get them on each one. That's your hardest thing. You need to drop a chalk line. hoping I can wipe that off, which I think we can. It is only chalk paint. And again, I'm going to let these dry overnight because that glue under there, that glue stick is damp. So I will let it dry overnight. And I'm just going to spray it with polyurethane, just out of a spray can. And I think we just did our N upside down. Ellen, you know I don't mind recapping. Thank you. Again, it was just Googled. My N is fixable. I just have to do it different. Or do a different one. Pretend it's right side up. Ellen, all you missed was we took 5 2x4s. Again, you could make them any size your images are, or the pictures you cut out, but they just have to be different sizes. And you're going to paint them. And the only reason you're going to paint them is because if you place your image onto your 2x4 and it's a little short, it'll hide so the wood doesn't stick out. And then I took my glue stick and adhered all of my photos onto our block. Let me just set this letter and pray we're close. I adhered all the images that I glue sticked onto the 2x4. And if your image is a little too big for your 2x4, you cut it a little too big, I like to wait at least 24 hours to sand off the overage of your paper. And if anybody catches this and says, Melanie, your N is upside down, that's okay. I can fix it. I'm not going to fix it today, but we can fix it. I do want to try and get this little spot that went on this paper and hope I don't ruin it. Did I cover everything? I think I covered everything. That you missed. All right, I'm not going to mess with that. But anyhow, that's how our letters turned out. Again, I wanted them to do that. Because if you see the truck, see how the truck is, like the paint looks chippy? So I was hoping the letters did the same thing. Hello, Yvonne. Hey, Laura. So we have this done. I hope it's going the right way for y'all. I'm going to work on our eye in just a second. So that's what we have. Again, I hope it's the right way for y'all. But that's what we have. We're going to put it closer. But that's how that turned out. So we are going to work on our eye. Can y'all really tell my end's upside down? Thank you, Tina. It's supposed to go the other way. That's okay. Nobody's gonna know but me. So we're done with that. We're done with that. So I want to take, again, my candle is a little wet. So I do have to be very careful. But all I did was wax, hot wax, and cinnamon, and I Mod Podged it. So if you see that white, that's just from the glue still being wet. So I'm going to use, these are just from, I don't know if everybody's seen them. You wrap them around candles. The letters I did with stamps, Laura. They're just Prima. They might be IOD stamps. It's just stamp lettering. And they come on a big sheet with all rubbered lettering on it. Thank you, Ellen. Thank you. So again, I'm just going to twist this. I am going to twist that. Sorry about the dog. I think it's just a snowplow. It's all right, buddy. Stop. I'm just going to spin this around my candle. It's okay, buddy. It's okay. Trying to get that star to stand up. I don't want that much of the log showing, so I'm going to throw a little, hey, stop. I am going to throw a little moss on the bottom. You done? Are you done? He's going to tell y'all he's done. Are you done? Did you want to tell him you're done? You did my job? I did my job, Mom. Sorry about that, everybody. He was doing his job, weren't you? So if I did my job, Mom, where's my cookie? Ain't that right? I am just putting a little moss around. I think that would be prettier on this log. So that is what I'm doing. Right? And then I'm going to put the beaded with the roll or the star on it as soon as I get this on. I think that dresses up this little log piece. It's definitely a snowplow because I can hear it. This stuff is messy. Can you back up, please? Can you back up? Back up. Back up. So that looks a little better. And then I'm going to take and spin the candle, or I forgot what they call this stuff. But it does go around, candlesticks. That I do know. Ellen, the way that Facebook has been lately, it's weird. It is so weird. I was watching videos last night and it just kept knocking me out. I mean, it was like, it was really strange. I am just cutting the end of this off. And I'm going to put a little dab of hot glue on there so that's not so sharp. Yeah, I don't know what's been going on with it. Again, I appreciate y'all being here. Thank you so much. And thank you for sharing this out there. It really, really, really helps. Again, I just put a little hot glue there so that's not so sharp. Again, I'm being careful only because, so that's what our eye is going to be. I think I might even, once this dries, just lightly brush touch that star with a little white so it stands out a little more. And our letters are dry already. And like I said, I am going to take, it would be even pretty, and because I painted it that red, it would even be pretty if, again, this is still wet, so be very careful. Hi, Marlene. Welcome. Welcome, everyone. This glue stick is still wet under here, so I'm going to do, just to show you what I'm going to do, is just do this. Like I said, there's little edges that was on here that I did go over a little bit. So I'm just going to do that. And I think doing this all the way around, whether it's not too long or it is too long, I like what it does to this side. I'm going to do this with a nail file, but I'm not going to do it now because this glue is still damp. Let this dry overnight. I don't want to rip that paper. So I will do that to all of these. And again, is this the right way or is that the wrong way? Oh, thank you, Ellen. Again, it's not you. It's happening on a lot of lives. It's awful. I was in a live again last night. Somebody was talking away and I did not see that person comment not once. Not once. So I don't know. I have no clue what they're doing. SPR. It's just strange. Is this going the right way for y'all? I hope so. My eye is wet. My eye is wet. Is it going the right way? Ladies, is this going the right way in the screen or is it backwards? Please. I think it's the right way. So, Tina, thank you so much. Again, I hope y'all can see it. I'm trying to get the entire thing in here so y'all can see it. And it is pretty with the light. It is pretty with the light. Can everybody see the light? It is pretty. Again, you could put this in the bathroom, on a windowsill, on a mantle. Thank you, Chris. You're the best. Thank you, everybody. Again, that is what I have for today. And everybody, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for following. Thank you all for the hearts. If everybody could share this out there, I would greatly appreciate it. And everybody have an awesome Tuesday. And I'll see everybody really, really soon. Again, thank you all. Bye-bye.